perfect circle for us.
Cool.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that shiny? Beautiful. Okay, and then we'll make a line and we'll make a blue line. Because I don't know why. Just because. What's this line called from the center of the circle to the outside? It's called a radius. Now we need to give the radius a value, right? Let's make it really easy on ourselves. We're going to say the radius equals 2 meters. And that'll make my calculations very simple. Doesn't really matter. We could have used 16.5. Doesn't make any difference. Doesn't change the way we do this question. Now, if we're going to calculate the circumference of this, yesterday we did it without any formula. And about how long did that take us? How long did, remember these big ones that we did all around the class, the 5 big, and you did it in groups? It didn't take you 30 seconds to measure that.
5 minutes.
5 minutes, 7, 10 minutes for some of you, right? And you used string, you used rulers, you used meter sticks, you used tape, you used magnets, whatever. That's called non-standardized measurement, using different things to measure than the actual formula or the tool that's made for the job. Now, when we did it using the formula, it took us about 30 seconds. But you needed to know something. You needed to know this little value here called what? Pi. And what is pi equivalent to? What is pi equal?
3.14.
Right. 3.1415. Don't know what the rest. 6, 9, 5, 2, 5, 5, 1, 1, whatever. Who cares? It's enough to know 3.14. For grade 7, we're going to get an accurate enough answer for the circumference. Circumference is the distance around. So once we know that, instead of trying to measure the distance around with some kind of fancy tool or string or magnet or bending rulers, all we need to do is write the formula. Circumference equals pi times the diameter. So circumference equals 3.14, or you can use the button on your calculator if you like. Some people are doing that. Not a very good tree, is it? Okay, times the diameter, which is what? Uh-oh, now we have a problem.
Oh, I know this one.
Do you know this one?
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
Okay, I need to stand up.
Okay.
Okay, do you know how the radius is half? So we need to multiply 2 to
Right.
get the
So the diameter is what?
4.
Right. So 4 meters. Now, if you have a calculator, you could do that very simply. It's going to be 12.56, I think. Is that what it works out to? Circumference equals 12.56 what?
Meters. Squared.
No,
Why not?
because we're not multiplying meters times meters. We're just doing circumference. Are we okay with circumference? That's a review of yesterday. Okay, so let's do something new. Let's go from circumference to area. So just because it's so much fun to make circles, I'm going to make a new circle. Can you show us?
Purple.
That's hard on my eyes.
These are purple.
Really? Okay, stop talking. Okay, and a blue radius. Isn't that pretty?
Purple looks better.
Okay? It's a skill that you need to work years on to make a perfect circle like that.
No, how did you make the line perfect?
Again, it's a skill that I'm just messing with you. Yeah, I'm pushing a separate button and it makes perfect lines. You see that?
I drew that.
Okay. Great fun, right? Anyway, I'm going to make up some more values here. So we'll go back to our pen, and I'm going to say the radius is 6.1 centimeters for this. If we had to make a grid over top of our circle, it would be very problematic because every single square unit would have a curved line through it, or at least every single square unit near the edge would have a curved line. It would be impossible to calculate the surface area of that using a grid. You could take a guess, but getting the exact value would be impossible. What we do have is a formula, like the formula for circumference, but it's a little bit different. Did you guys look at this yesterday? The formula for area, did anybody look at it?
I looked at it.
Did you? It looks like this. Area equals pi, again, we use the pi, r,
2.
which stands for radius, and then this little superscript 2, which means what? We haven't really done this. We haven't done this yet this year.
It's
What does it mean,
times-
Angela?
It means times that number by 2.
Exponent.
Okay, yeah, everyone stop
You
talking.
times it twice.
Yes. You do not multiply it by 2. If I multiply this by 2, I'll get the diameter. Multiply it by pi, I'm going to get the circumference. I don't want the circumference. I multiply r by itself. Or multiply r times r. Radius times radius. So this is a really easy formula. We just take all the values from here and plug them into here. So area equals 3.14 times the radius,
6.1.
6.1 centimeters. I'm going to put
Times.
units.
6.1 seconds.
Yeah, you guys are geniuses. Now on your calculator, you can use the pi button or 3.14. What value do I get if I go 3.14 times 6.1 times 6.1? I don't have a calculator here.
116. That's 839. Really? 83.
Yeah.
94.
Okay, I'm going to round it to 84 centimeters squared because we have centimeters times centimeters. That's the area of that circle. That's how many square, if this is 6 centimeters across, that's how many square centimeters will fit in there, 1 by 1 centimeter squares. Right? Does that make sense? It's not hard at all to do. You might not understand, it's very difficult to understand why the radius would have anything to do with the square unit in there, but it does. Are we okay with this? Do you want to see one more example? I'm going to make one more, and this one's going to be super hard. Ready? So I'm going to make a line across here now. I think that's pretty much through the center. Close enough. That line is called the diameter. And I'm going to say the diameter is 8.4 meters. Now I want to know what the area of that circle is. So we go back to our area formula. Area equals pi times the radius squared. So area equals 3.14. So far so good. Times the radius. Uh-oh.
Oh, I know this.
Oh no.
I don't know. It's 4.2.
Yes.
Don't shout out.
I know this.
Is anybody with their hand up quietly that's not shouting out right now know the answer? Sukma, what's the answer? 4.2 what?
The
Meters?
meters and the
Yes.
called 2.
Okay, 4.2 meters times, because radius squared means radius times radius, 4.2 meters. Okay, so the area equals, yeah, turn to you.
So, if you have a diameter, you have to cut it in half.
Yeah, you have to get it. If you're doing the circumference, you need the diameter. So you double the radius or else you have the diameter. If you're doing area, you need the radius. So if you're given the radius, great. If you're given the diameter, you divide it by 2. You cut it in half, like you said. So what's the answer here? With your hand up. Natasha.
55.3896. So you can round it to 839.
9 meters squared.
Yes.
This is not difficult stuff. You write the formula out, you change the pi to 3.14, or use the button on your calculator, and then you multiply that by the radius times the radius again. Are we good with this? All right.